Good morning. Today we're wrapping up our discussion of the walk, where we've been talking about how to apply our faith. But first, how well do you know your acronyms? You know those abbreviations that stand for longer phrases? Keep watching to see if you know what these acronyms stand for. So, did you recognize those acronyms and know what they stood for? Today we're going to talk about taking a stand. And when you think about taking a stand while we walk, it kind of seems like an oxymoron, right? Because it implies that I'm in an unmovable state while somehow still in motion. It's kind of weird, right? But to take a stand during our walk doesn't mean that I'm not progressing in my faith. It simply means that we make an effort to remember what we believe and why as we're striving to grow. And that's important. We need to take a stand to know what we believe and why. But if we only take a stand and never grow, we may never learn anything and just repeat what we've been told. Likewise, if we only learn new things but forget to remain grounded in the truth, we run the risk of buying into half-baked ideas or theories. No, we need to do both. To stretch ourselves in a way that we always need God, and to understand that we must humbly live up to everything we know and say to be true. So it's important to be smart about where we've been on our walk and where we're going. Even after we've committed our lives to Christ, it can be so easy to fall back into old habits that we had before knowing Jesus. Habits that make it very difficult to grow in our faith. Paul gives us some great advice with his words in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 through 5, as he describes how we battle arguments and temptations. He says, "For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." What do you suppose he means by take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ? Well, it simply means that we gain control over what we think about ourselves, about life, about our world. What you put in your mind has an effect on what you think. Have you ever seen a scary movie and then had nightmares? It doesn't take long to realize and connect the dots that the way to avoid the nightmares is to stop watching that kind of movie. God has provided a way to overcome unhealthy thoughts and behaviors and gain the self-control that you seek. It's a matter of taking charge of your life, but doing it God's way. If we make the conscious decision to make every thought obedient to Christ, to think about what God has to say about our thoughts and words, we won't have near as much trouble standing firm in our beliefs while still seeking God's truth. And in turn, we will begin to think through our problems rather than just react to them. We will begin to confess our struggles more and more to God. And we'll choose to focus on the true and pure and admirable things, just as we're instructed to do in Romans 12:2. Stand while walking. It's a funny concept, but a very real part of our walk to a deeper faith. Until next time, please remember that you're His, you are loved, and what you do matters.